Hi, everyone. Welcome to Kiki and Kippets. It's Mary, and I'm here with this week's edition of 90 Days and 900 Seconds, Season 10, Episode 11, For Richer or for Poor. If I was going to give this episode a grade, I would give it a C. Honestly, the only thing about this episode that gave me any emotion was Devin and Nick's wedding. Besides that, this episode kind of sucked. So let's set 900 seconds on the timer and let's hop right into it. So let's start off with Clayton and Annalise. So these two, I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, Clayton, he's kind of socially awkward. Yeah. And Annalise, I don't know how I feel about her just yet. I mean, she makes certain points, but she could be kind of a bitch. So here we go. On this episode, they're heading off to San Diego to meet Clayton's BFF of 13 years, his virtual BFF. Him and his best friend Cameron have never met in person. Okay. So Annalise, she thinks this is kind of a weird concept, and she wants to see that Clayton is able to have a real, in-person friendship. So they're heading off to San Diego. Annalise is really, really happy about this. Okay. So she's like, bye, Violet, bye, guinea pigs, buy little doggy, buy tiny apartment where my future mother-in-law is in the closet and she'll be able to hear me having sex. Buy everything. See you never. Okay. So they head off to San Diego, and Clayton and Cameron have this this airport, like they run to each other in the airport. They're like, bro, and they like hug, and they're so excited to meet each other. And Annalise is standing there like, I don't think he was this excited to even, see me when he first met me in Peru. Like, what the hell is going on here? So, they're like so excited, and Clayton smiling ear to ear, and Annalise is just like, okay, this is kind of weird. So it's a bromance. It's a bromance, Annalise, and you just got to understand the bromance. That's what it comes down to. You just have to understand the bromance. Okay, so Clayton got them a nice Airbnb because honestly, he's hoping to get himself some ass. He is dying to get himself some ass. Okay. And this Airbnb is just reminding Annalise on how nice life can be outside of the tiny little apartment. I mean, it's so spacious, and there's no closet, mom. So, okay. So they go out to dinner with Cameron and his girlfriend V. Okay. Cameron's name may be hard for Annalise to pronounce, but V, just one letter, no problem. Okay. So now this is where it starts to get weird. So the waitress comes over, asks what kind of drinks do they want, and Clayton immediately announced that he'll take some virgin drinks because he's living the virgin life. Okay. So he continues to tell his friend Cameron and his girlfriend in front of Annalise, which, I didn't like this so much because we all know Annalise doesn't speak English very well. So they're talking about her in front of her. And I'm sure they're, using the Google Translate, but still, they're talking about very intimate, personal, sensitive subjects. And Clayton's just going on and on about how he's not getting any ass. And Annalise is like, well, your mother being in the closet, being able to hear everything doesn't help things. And he's like, no, no, no. I took you away on a nice romantic trip in Indiana, and still I didn't get any ass, and I haven't gotten any ass yet here. So what's the issue? And Annalise is very uncomfortable. She's pissed the fuck off, and now she wants to go. So Cameron is worried about his friend's future sex life and future status of his relationship. Cameron's girlfriend, for her part, she only has one word to summarize this whole thing. And I agree with you, V. She looks in the camera and she says, yikes. Yeah, yikes. Could summarize this whole fucking thing. Okay, so now moving on to another yikes situation. We have, like my husband calls them, the bootleg iced tea and cocoa, Rob and Sophie. Okay, so they wake up and Sophie is immediately, she's like, I need a duvet. Now let's take a shot on how many times she said duvet during this fucking conversation. Okay, this is why I gave this episode a C, because this episode was so ridiculous at times. Like Clayton turning to the waitress and saying, I need virgin drinks because I'm living the virgin life. So Sophie wakes up and she's like, we need a duvet. Okay. I didn't sleep well because I need a duvet. And Rob is like, no, you don't. What the fuck is a duvet? And they get into a full blown argument over a duvet. Okay. So now Sophie's point is that Rob wants to live bare fucking minimum. Okay. And doesn't want to give her anything to make her feel comfortable. And, really, they're adults. And she should not be living in a big room that really doesn't have a kitchen, a living room, indoor plumbing. And it's just her, Rob, and a pit bull living in this big room. Okay. And Rob, for his part, is like, listen, I just woke up and it's like negativity out of you. Like, give me an hour before you start bitching at me. And she's like, it's not negativity. I just want a duvet. And Rob's like, during his confessional, it's the point that she woke me up and she was complaining. And apparently, she doesn't know what a duvet is. I didn't know what a duvet was, but she doesn't know what a duvet is because I have 3 of them. Okay. Anyway, if you would have took a shot every time they said duvet during this conversation, you would have had alcohol poisoning by the end of the fucking scene. Okay. So they get into this full blown out argument over a duvet. Okay. And Sophie thinks that, maybe her confessing her sexuality has a little bit to do with Rob's attitude because Rob's been kind of like a snot face ever since, she's confessed her sexuality to him. But I cannot believe that I was sitting there watching a couple about to get married arguing over a fucking duvet. So, anyway, now, then they go to a brewery, okay? And Sophie is hoping that they are going to be on the same page now. Because considering they just got into an argument over a duvet, Sophie's thinking that this may not be, such a good thing to be arguing with your fiance over a duvet. Okay, guys? So she decides that, going out to a brewery, the two of them double fisting beers, they might wind up on the same page. And by the end of the time, they were on the same page. Okay, fine. So next scene, they go to the sex shop. Okay. Sophie had decided by the end of the brewery that maybe she was overthinking things and maybe she just needed to calm down a little bit. Maybe it was a case of the wedding jitters. Who the fuck knows? But now they wind up in the sex shop and here we go again. Here we go. And this is where I just wanted to fucking poke my eyes out. Okay. So they're looking at the toys. And Rob is like, our sex life is not exactly vanilla, you know? And I've been around the block, up the corner, around the block a few times. I've played with a lot of these things. So if I discover something that I haven't played with, Sophie may be opening up the doors that, she doesn't want to necessarily open, but, we'll see what we find in here. So they're looking at stuff. The employees like demonstrating things for them. And before you know it, the employees hitting on them. Is this a production setup? I wonder. Anyway, the employee is hitting on them as a couple. You guys are hot. And since you guys are willing to try new things, what do you think? And Rob, instead of answering and saying, I'm getting married, no thanks, turns to Sophie. And Sophie's like, looking at him like, why would you even consider it? And Sophie immediately gets pissed the fuck off, because this is where her confessing her bisexuality to Rob comes into play. Okay. And she's like, you're disgusting. You're just, taking that I told you I was bi as basically a hall pass. I'm going to call this as a hall pass to you having a threesome whenever the hell you want. And, Rob is like refusing to apologize for not just telling the girl, no, I'm getting married, no thanks, or whatever. And Sophie flips the fuck out. And the two of them are basically screaming at each other in the sex shop. Yeah, having a full-blown argument in the sex shop. The other employee, there was two employees, not the one that was hitting on them. The second one was standing there like, guys, like, can you like make your purchases and get the fuck out? Like, you're scaring away customers. I mean, it was a hot mess. You guys are about to get married and you're screaming at each other in a sex shop. What in the actual fuck is happening? But yeah. Okay, iced tea and cocoa. Sure. Okay, so now moving on to a couple that actually woke up and did get married, Devin and Nick. Their alarms went off, and Nick was like, are we doing anything special today? And Devin's like, did you forget already? It's our wedding day, you dumbass. So Nick's excited. Devin is like, I hope my dress came out okay. But it did, guys. Her dress came out beautiful. The venue was beautiful. Nick has won over Devin's parents, okay? Even though they weren't, too sure about him in the beginning, especially with the whole Piggy nickname thing. But Nick has won them over. Okay, Nick has won them over in the 90 days. And the wedding was beautiful. The wedding was absolutely beautiful. Devin smiled. She actually smiled. Oh my goodness, she was smiling from ear to ear. We haven't seen her smile this whole time, okay? She was smiling from ear to ear, okay? Her parents surprised them with a sunset helicopter ride, which was really, really fucking cool. Nick was so ecstatic after they exchanged their vows and the wedding was over and everything. He was dancing out of the place. It was so freaking cute. They make a really cute couple. Okay. Congratulations to Devin and Nick, and wishing them all the best. So now Nick says the thing that kept their relationship together was trust, respect, and love. And I hope that continues. So now, moving on to another couple about to get married, and trust, respect, and love are not factors in their relationship. Ashley and Manuel. Oh boy, now this is a shit show. Okay, it is wedding dress try-on time for Ashley. Her mom and her sister are there. And everybody's in tears, okay, because they love this dress. They love this dress. Mom is happy for her. Mom is not happy about the wedding. Mom is not happy about Manuel. Okay? Sis is not feeling Manuel. How Manuel just like runs away like Sasquatch every time he's like upset. He just like runs off into the woods, you know? She's not happy with him. Okay? So, but they're happy that Ashley's happy, if that makes any sense for you, okay? So, this is supposed to be the whole wedding dress vibe, according to Ashley. Mermaid, glistening, coming out of the water, Lux. Did I do that right? Lux, cross with Princess Goddess Mermaid. Okay. I'm sorry. I think I need to light up for this one. What did the actual fuck? Okay, anyway. Now the crown. The crown, as a native New Yorker here, NYC, Queens, okay? Total Lady Liberty vibes. I'm sorry, she looked like the Statue of Liberty with that fucking crown, okay? I'm sorry. The crown is made of 100% quartz crystal, and quartz crystal is supposed to amplify vibes, you know, and make them better. And like she says, girl, you need all the help you can get. You need all the positive vibes you can get. So, girl, whatever you need to do. But she was standing there with that crown, and all she needed was the torch, and we would have had Lady Liberty. Okay. So, anyway, her mother is worried because her expectations for him are here, and his expectations or his, you know, are like down here. Okay. He just runs off like Sasquatch. He runs off into the woods and just takes off and doesn't give a shit. So mom wants to have a talk with him because mom is like, this is not acceptable adult behavior. So Manuel, for his part, feels like he's going into the lion's den. He's like, shit, I have to have this conversation. I don't want to have this conversation, but I guess I'm going to. Okay. So mom is like, you can't always run away when things get tough. They're having their Google Translate conversation. And mom is like, I think, you know, this relationship was an attraction that developed into love, and that's not always necessarily good. And Manuel is like, you know, for my part, it's not always easy to deal with your daughter and her character and her attitude. And mom is like, yeah, you know, you're right. I give you that. You're right. And mom is like, just know that your word is your integrity and your word means everything. And Manuel's like, I know. And basically, what did we come out with this conversation? Mom likes him, but she doesn't trust him for shit. Yeah. Okay, but guess what? Ashley's going to marry him anyway as Princess Goddess Lux Mermaid. Okay. So now moving on, we have Citra and Sam. Okay. So now her first impression of Sam's room is that it is messy as hell. And this is after Sam cleaned up. Remember, Sam swept. He got her brand new pillows. I mean, he made an effort into making his room look nice. And she thinks his room is messy. There's clothes everywhere. She doesn't know what's clean, what's dirty. Um, she gets to meet Dad. Dad is so glad to meet her. Dad thinks she's pretty. Dad can't wait for her to help him to cook. So now Sam is going to be sleeping in his brother Tim's room, actually in the bed with Tim. Okay, they're going to be cuddle buddies. And Citra is going to sleep in Sam's room. Okay, so check this out. Sam got her a bidet. Do you remember Eva Muhammad and the whole bidet controversy? Well, Sam got it done before she got there and got a bidet because Citra needs to be clean. Okay, so the bidet is there, and she explains to Sam's father what the whole conversion is all about. Sam's father is like, I would like to be there. Sure, no problem. So now, speaking of cleaning, they have to take Sam's car to get cleaned because Sam's car looks like a homeless person has been living in it for the past 20 years. Okay. Quarter Central. And if they go to pick up Citra's dad and sister with that car, okay, Citra's dad is going to drag her on the next flight back home. So they take it to the car wash. They get the outside of it all, spruced up. And now it's time to clean the inside. And let me tell you, you need biohazard gloves up to your elbows. Okay, so Citra's in there. She's going through all the stuff. And of course, she's like, is this stack of papers your diversion paperwork by any chance? And here we go. Sam has to break the news that he missed the deadline for the diversion program. And after they get married, he has to go to court and find out what's going to happen. It could be jail time. It could be probation. He doesn't know yet. Citra is like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Technically, I lied to my father. My father is going to be so mad. And Sam is like, I want to know how you feel about this. Are you going to stick with me? And all Citra keeps saying is, my father is going to be so mad. And Citra's like, during her confessional thing, at this point, I feel like I just want to go home. So we shall see. So now we have Gino and Jasmine. Gino and Jasmine. This is where it's all going to begin. Jasmine is at home in Miami. And it's going to take a hell of a time to get her back to Michigan. Okay? She is loving this. The sand is in between her toes. The beach breeze is flowing through her hair. Her bikini is struggling to hold on to her boobs. Her thong is firmly up those butt cheeks. Okay, the left one, Dane owns what, like 1/8 of it or something. I don't know. So anyway, she's enjoying, loving Miami life. Okay. Gino is rubbing lotion on that butt, and he is thinking, something? I think it's worth that Jasmine spent the wedding money on this butt. But he doesn't know that Jasmine's ex, Dane, actually owns 1/8 of the left cheek. Okay, so he's rubbing lotion on the butt, totally enjoying it. And Jasmine's like, when I picture our wedding, I picture our wedding like this, a beautiful beach wedding down here in Miami. And Gino's like, well, if we were to have a beach wedding, my family wouldn't be able to come. And she's like, well, you know something, the way your family has been treating me, I don't think I'd want them to come to our wedding. And then here we go. Another one of their telenovela storylines. And literally, you could see Gino, the wheels turning in his head as he's trying to remember his next line. I mean, Jasmine may be a great telenovela actress. Gino, not so much. Okay. Gino is like literally, you could see the wheels turning in his head. It is so fucking funny. He's looking at her and he's like, well, I want my family to come, and that's my opinion. And we all have a right to have our own opinions. Yeah, Gino, you tell her. And I say I want my family to come. And that's my opinion, Jasmine, and that's what I'm sticking by. And Jasmine's like, well, I don't want them to come, but I'm gonna give them one more chance. Of course. You have no fucking choice. Jasmine, what do you think? And let me tell you, after this, that's it. Because I want to punch them in their face and tell them to fuck off. And Gino's like, well, it's my opinion, and my opinion is I want my family at my wedding. So they're going to be at my wedding. And that was it. Like, really? Another telenovela scene? Brought to you by Gino and Jasmine. Thank you so much, guys, for watching me. Please subscribe if you don't already. Hit that like button, share my video with a friend or 10, and please consider joining my membership. It's only $5.99, and it's a pretty good deal for some great content. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.